Hello, welcome to this episode of Going Deeper with David Steele. Super stoked today to interview one of my dear friends, Mike Bledsoe. Mike is the founder of Barbell Shrugged. It's actually the #1 fitness podcast on iTunes today. He's just a great thought leader. We're going to talk about fitness, nutrition, life balance, and really how you go about marketing an entity like Barbell Shrugged. I really hope you enjoy the show as much as I did. If you like it, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the board meeting. Super excited. I'm out here with Mike Bledsoe, good friend, amazing person, really just truly a great person. Very well known in the fitness space. His fitness podcast is ranked #1, which is a pretty big deal. It really is, especially for a aspiring blogger like myself. So I'm just super stoked to be out here with you. But I think that you've impacted thousands and thousands of lives with the work that you do and have done and told about, and I just think that that's incredible. I really do. And so for my friends that don't know you, there's probably a couple people. Tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about Barbell Shrugged.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hey, first I want to say I just love being out here on the water.
Right?
It's like the
Right?
dopest idea ever. I run the #1 fitness and nutrition podcast on that's what iTunes says. We have the most positive comments and 5-star reviews, all that kind of stuff. And we started that show almost 5 years ago. And
wow.
It started because I was running a CrossFit gym with a couple of my partners, and we were doing it really well. And we were coaching really well, and it was apparent to people in the region. I was getting a lot of phone calls. And
Nice.
and 2 podcasts. I listened to Rob Wolf's podcast, The Paleo Solution, and then I was introduced to Joe Rogan.
Wow. Okay.
And that.
Have you met him?
Joe, yeah, I've met him just briefly a couple times, and I look forward to one day maybe doing a show with him if possible. We have a lot of mutual friends, so it's a matter of time for sure.
Well, I hear you've been hanging out with one of my aspiring heroes in the sporting world there at Hamilton.
Well, I haven't hung out with him yet. I've been hanging out with one of his business partners.
Yes.
So that'll probably be the first time. But yeah, it seems like I've been hanging out with Brian McKenzie, who's this, they're working on this XBT experience thing together. And I've been hanging out with him a little bit and talking business and seeing where I might be helpful to those guys. Yeah, because those guys, I've been, Laird came up on my radar when I was like 15 years old. And he was this guy that invented this paddleboarding thing, and he was this incredible surfer. And that's when I started surfing, and when I was on vacation, I was like 15. And so the idea, potentially meeting him at some point was like, didn't even cross my mind. And now at the age of, I'll be 35 on Monday. I've put myself in a pretty incredible spot, making a series of choices over time. Saying yes to the right things, saying no to the wrong things, and over time getting better about putting myself in places where I have these really crazy opportunities.
Who's your show for?
Barbell Shrugged podcast is mainly targeted towards CrossFitters and weightlifters.
Okay.
A lot of people, and it's really a strength and conditioning podcast, but the largest strength and conditioning audience in the world is CrossFitters.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So before CrossFit was around, strength and conditioning, like I was into that, but it was like the underworld of fitness. You know, it's what, there were strength and conditioning coaches that trained football gym, and so the gym was serving their sport. CrossFit came in and took a lot of things that were popular with strength and conditioning and kind of turned strength and conditioning into a sport.
That's pretty cool.
Which is interesting. And so the whole concept of a lot of things that are happening in CrossFit have been done for a really long time, but they packaged it in a way that was really phenomenal. So being a strength and conditioning guy, the smartest move is to serve CrossFitters because it's the biggest strength and conditioning audience in the world.
So we were talking about something earlier about balance and fitness and health.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I definitely have some opinions there.
Yeah, what's funny is, when strength and conditioning became the sport, you're now living in the gym. I know people who are in the gym 5 hours a day, and it's cool. I mean, there's strength sports out there, strongman, powerlifting, weightlifting. Those are sports within strength and conditioning, but they're fairly narrow in comparison to CrossFit. But what CrossFit did was interesting, and it kind of turned that into a sport. And so what ended up happening is you have a lot of athletes that are very talented, very strong, very agile, have a lot of endurance, and it's still relegated to the barbell and the rings. And the expression of that strength is still fairly narrow. I think a lot of people might get mad at me for saying that. But look at us out here is, you should definitely hit the gym, do CrossFit, and their entire day revolves around what is happening in the gym that day versus the other way around.
So I'm not wrong for lifting and doing yoga so I can surf better.
You're not wrong for that. Not at all.
By the way, we are in nature, and in nature sometimes things change, and we might be in the surf line at some point. So if I stop you and we grab this camera, we could do it the rest from the water, but it could happen. That's part of it. Yeah. One of the things I love about hanging out with you is that you make things that other people would think are easy, are difficult, easy. It's kind of like you just have this way about you where, you want to go do that thing? Let's go. It's done. Here, you want to, find along the way? Or maybe it has been.
Oh yeah, it's been a cakewalk the whole time. No, it's interesting is it's still not easy, and I tell myself that, when it's hard, you're doing something wrong, but it's like, the truth of the matter is that I'm an experimenter, and I'm a seeker of truth, and so, I never want to go where someone else has gone before. I only want, it's only, so I seek really novel experiences, and so for instance, paddleboarding, it's fairly new to me, and so for me, every time I get out here and I paddleboard, I'm practicing, but it's might be some innovation happening there. But yeah, I'm a truth seeker, and I like to push boundaries, and that's my favorite thing to do in the world. And because of that, I live a fairly uncomfortable life at times, and it's uncomfortable to the people who are closest to me at times, and that is what allows me to show people the way. So I think my primary motivation for seeking truth and doing things that are different than what other people are doing and just trying things out is so that I can then tell people, hey, it's okay.
Right.
This path is okay, or holy shit, don't do that. There's been a few of those where I was like, I'm gonna try this. I think it's gonna work, and then it didn't work at all, and it was painful and it hurt. There was nothing good that came out of it other than the lesson of don't do that again. And so then I go, hey people, hey guys, don't do that. But you know what? You should try this out over here.
You know what? I have something that I've been thinking about. You're so good in many domains, but obviously in internet marketing is a domain that you're really good at, which is kind of unusual for a buff fitness guy, right? You're an anomaly there. Is it because you have a passion to learn it, or do you surround yourself with people that are really smart, or how did that come to be?
I did not have a passion to learn internet marketing in the beginning. I had a passion for getting the message out.
Okay.
And then I had this realization that that's all marketing is. Is actually being intelligent about how you send your message out so it hits the most ears. And so I think a lot of times people think about marketing, they're like, oh, it's this business term. I think marketing, or business school kind of ruined it for everybody. But marketing is just like, how good can I get at telling people what I think they should hear? And the better I am at that, the more people are going to live better lives. And that's all the motivation I need. And for me, I'm not naturally good at a lot of the tactical stuff around marketing. I kind of split things up in between strategy and tactics. Strategy is the bigger picture, like this is like big brand type of thing, and I understand a lot of tactics because I surround myself with people who are good at it. And the tactics are more of like, what kind of headlines, how does the headline need to be written, and the stuff that people don't like to think about a lot of times. But I've spent a lot of money and spent a lot of time surrounding myself with people who are actually really good at that stuff. And just by being around the best in the world at internet marketing, I learned it. I was part of the conversation. I've been part of the conversation. And I have a lot of people on my team that they're really good at it. And I can say, hey, this is a big idea, this is what we need to happen. And my business partner Doug as well. And I have people on my team that are like, we know exactly how to get that message out.
That's awesome.
And effectively.
It's so important. So many entrepreneurs think they can either do it themselves or hire someone without understanding it themselves.
Yeah.
For me,
you got to understand yourself before you can even try to understand anybody else.
Absolutely. When I think about social marketing for business, I think it's about finding a group of like-minded individuals and adding value. And I think that's what you do. Like Barbell Shrugged is great content. Waking up every freaking day. You said you woke up at 6 in the morning. What time today and did a podcast?
Oh yeah, I woke up early so I could do my morning routine. So I wouldn't have to sacrifice my morning routine before I did a podcast. Yeah, we started the show at 9 a.m.
Okay.
So I woke up extra early so that I could do my meditation, run to the beach, hop in the water, drink my morning smoothie, because I will not be rushed.
Right.
Like you won't ever see me in a hurry. You won't see me rushed.
Come to think of it, I have never seen you in a hurry. That's pretty interesting.
Because there was a time in my life where that was how everything got done, and I've shifted, and you know what? Nothing is worth being in a hurry over.
I made a pact with myself to never rush to yoga. So that's a start. I used to find myself, oh my God, it's starting in 10 minutes, and I'd be speeding, and I'm like, wait a minute, why am I speeding to go into like a movement meditation of yoga? It's like, isn't it crazy, the things that we do? Yeah. And then you recognize it one day, I'm like, wow.
It's like you missed the point.
Stop that, don't go.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it'd be, So I refuse. So I refuse to rush. So if I didn't wake up in time, you know what I would do? I would just cut my morning routine in half. Or,
Smart.
I would just do less. What I don't do is try to move through it more quickly.
Well, I think one of the things that you touched on is when we brought up the subject earlier of balance, like nutrition and rest and not rushing and getting things done in their time, right? It's interesting that the people that tend to focus on that tend to be way more effective. And it's not interesting. It's a commitment, right? You make a commitment to being the best you and taking care of all of the facets, right? Mind, body, spirit.
Exactly.
And without that, it's like you can be the best CrossFitter in the world, and if you don't sleep or eat right,
well, you won't be the best.
You won't be the best for long. Yeah. It's so awesome out here with you, and we got another couple minutes before we're like actually in the surf line, so like maybe a few more. But one of the things that
it's one of my favorite things, being out on the water and then seeing hot air balloons.
Serious?
Yeah, I mean, like you look down this way and it's just like mountains. You look down this way and then you see like La Jolla down there, and then out here is a hot air balloon.
It's so rad.
Just people enjoying nature.
The thing that I love out here is just that. Like, I've been paddling in the mornings, and there's a seal, and I'm pretty convinced it's the same seal every day, and he follows me along, or I'll see him for like 30 minutes, super inquisitive. And we're just in starting whale season. I saw the first one last weekend. It actually starts in another like 3 or 4 weeks. But I saw one last weekend, and I just know it's going to happen one day. We're going to be here, and it's going to be close enough that we see it, you know. Or I'll see him from the house and jump out here. You know, it's going to be epic.
Hit me up if that happens.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, it's for me. It's about being in nature. You know, it's like there's no phones ringing out here.
No.
There's nobody coming in. There's no internet. There's no nothing other than
these cameras.
Us and these cameras, right? Well, thank you, GoPro. I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna imagine that someday there'll be a drone flying over us that is like following us around out here.
Oh, that's totally gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
So, you said there was another question or no?
Yeah.
Before I derailed us.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think that if I had to ask you, what advice would you give to an entrepreneur? Not necessarily a gym owner, although they're absolutely entrepreneurs. But what advice would you give as far as like, you know, learning what you do or learning to kind of create an audience online?
You know, if you're wanting to create an audience online, it has
asking for me
everything to do with consistency. You know, I don't know how many podcasts I've seen where they posted 10 and you never see it again.
Or one and done.
Yeah, or one and done, or they post once every 3 months, or, you know, the thing that I think has given us the most, you know, that helped us out the most, we made a commitment to every single Wednesday.
For how long?
We did every Wednesday for 4 years.
Shut up.
And then we took a 5-month break.
Wow.
And then we came back.
Well, after 4 years, you could do reruns.
Yeah, we did some repackaging for sure. But, you know, the thing about podcasting is that we kind of got in there and we went hard in the beginning, so we really established ourselves. But yeah, it was all about consistency. Every Wednesday, there was another show that was similar to ours. It started at the same time, and they were doing as many shows, but their consistency was not good. And the other thing that we always did that they were not doing is we made sure that we asked ourselves the question. There were shows we didn't post because it did not achieve this. Was when someone gets done listening or watching this show, did they take something away that will make them a better person or help them be better? And if that didn't happen, we just wouldn't post it because that was our standard. Our standard was, can they get better? And it was actually something that we learned from Evan Pagan. And I think as a whole, as an industry, I think we've kind of found where that sweet spot is. But for a long time, people guarded their information way too heavily. And the people who were giving away more for free and giving away the best stuff for free, we're seeing like huge returns on that investment. And so all I gotta say is don't be afraid of, even a month ago is not my best stuff now, because I'm always learning. It's a great way to keep your ass in gear and always be learning. And there should be no fear of that if you're surrounding yourself with great people and always pushing yourself. And I think that's really helped push me forward, is knowing that I gave you my best stuff last week. What do I got to do this week? Well, I got to come up with my best stuff again.
And it's not what you could do for me. It's like, what can I do for you? You know, if you just go into it with that attitude, like, what can I do that's going to be of value to you? And if it's not of value, don't do it.
Then we studied communication. We studied learning. We studied human behavior. And the main motivation behind all that was, how do people learn? That's how we're going to teach.
And what's really cool as an entrepreneur in our community is there are so many badasses here, But like to start to do a video podcast and then have freaking Mike Bledsoe come out here with me and chat for 45 minutes, it's just freaking awesome, man. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
real
it's
pleasure.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.
Thank you.